Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a cyber attack that's a little different. It doesn't crack codes or use some super complex algorithm. It just hits replay. It's a surprisingly simple trick that can be used to steal cars, hijack your accounts, and bypass some of the security measures we trust the most.
Okay, to get this, let's start with a story. Picture this. It's 2023. There's a big ethical hacking contest, and a team gets access to a Tesla Model 3's most critical systems, and they do it in under 2 minutes. Now get this. They didn't crack the car's encryption. They used a trick that was way simpler.
So you've got to be asking, how is that even possible? I mean, this is a state-of-the-art car. How can security that strong be beaten so fast? Well, the answer isn't about brute force. It's about cleverly replaying a message that was only ever meant to be heard once.
To really wrap our heads around how this works, we need to look at something we all use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. It's like an invisible hall pass you get every time you log into a website or an app. This whole thing is called session management. It's basically the magic that keeps you logged in as you click from page to page. Without it, you would have to enter your password for every single action. It's what makes the web, usable. And the process is actually pretty slick. You log in, and the server gives your browser a unique session token. That's your temporary key card. As long as your browser holds onto that token, the site trusts that it's you, and you can just browse around freely. But what happens if someone manages to listen in and just copy that digital key card? Well, that's where things get really dangerous. And that is the absolute core of a replay attack. The attacker doesn't need to understand the message. They don't have to decrypt it. All they have to do is capture it, like the signal from your car's key fob, and then simply replay it. The system sees what it thinks is a valid command, and it just obeys.
And the attacker's process is just frighteningly straightforward. Using a simple device, they can intercept and capture a legitimate signal, like you unlocking your car. Then, later, they just retransmit that exact same signal. To the car, it looks like a valid command from the original key, and bam, the door unlocks.
And here's the really crucial part. This is not some elite super complex hack. The tools to do this are actually widely available, so what was once kind of a theoretical threat is now a very real-world problem. And this isn't just about cars, not by a long shot. Attackers can replay a captured login session to impersonate you on a website. They can replay stolen credentials, duplicate financial transactions to drain an account, or even send commands to your smart home devices. A really common belief among IP folks is that strong encryption is the ultimate defense, but replay attacks just cleverly sidestep it. The attacker doesn't need to break the encryption, they just replay the entire encrypted message. The system on the other end decrypts it and sees a valid, albeit completely stolen, command. So if these attacks can just waltz around encryption, how do companies defend against them? Well, the best defense is a good offense. They have to think like a hacker, and in many cases, that means they have to hack themselves first.
This process is called penetration testing, or just pen testing for short. It's essentially hiring a team of ethical hackers to simulate real-world attacks on your own systems. Their whole job is to find the security holes and the weak spots before the actual criminals do.
That old saying perfectly sums up the entire philosophy behind pen testing. It is so much better to find and fix a vulnerability in a controlled test than to deal with the absolute nightmare of a real breach. And this isn't just random guesswork. It's a very structured investigation. Ethical hackers start by planning their approach. Then they scan the system for weaknesses, like digital unlocked windows. Once they find a vulnerability, they try to exploit it to see how far they can get. Then the really crucial steps are reporting what they found so it can be fixed, and then, this is key, retesting to make sure the fix actually holds up.
But not all pen testing is created equal. The approach can really be broken down into two main categories. You can let a human mind probe the system, or you can let a machine do it.
Manual pen testing relies on the creativity and expertise of a human tester who can find these complex flaws in business logic that a machine would totally miss. On the other hand, automated tools are incredibly fast. They can scan huge systems for thousands of common known vulnerabilities very quickly. The best strategies, of course, use both.
So, knowing the threats and the tools to find them, what does a truly strong defense against something like a replay attack actually look like?
A lot of people think multi-factor authentication, MFA, is the answer. But a replayed session token can bypass MFA entirely, because the attacker is hijacking a session after you've already authenticated. Like one security leader said, if you assume MFA is enough,
you're already losing. The real defense is a layered one, designed to make stolen data instantly obsolete. It starts with session tokens that expire really quickly. Then, you add timestamps to reject any message that's even a few seconds old. And finally, you use nonces, a number used only once to make sure no two messages are ever identical. So an attacker might record a message, but by the time they try to replay it, it's already expired, it's old, and the system knows it's a repeat. It's completely worthless.
Ultimately, protecting our digital lives isn't about building a single perfect wall. It's really about creating an active, adaptive immune system that is constantly monitoring, questioning, and evolving to counter new threats as they pop up.
Which kind of brings us to our final thought. Every single second you're online, these invisible digital tokens are proving you are who you say you are. In a world where these keys can be so easily copied and replayed, how can we truly be sure ours are secure enough?